Shocking truth about who killer's father comes out right after brother demands privacy on camera. Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock blended into society in every possible way as a completely unassuming killer living among people who would never suspect him of anything. This is a terrifying fact in itself, as it leaves others to wonder who their neighbors are, or the person you see at the grocery store who could be seconds from snapping like Paddock did. While he was hiding his sinister hate towards humanity and plans which made him the deadliest shooter in American history, he was also keeping a huge secret about who his father is. Now that this major detail has come to the surface moments after his brother's frustrated interview outside his home, the country is getting clues as to what may have led Stephen Paddock into mass murder. Paddock was once a functioning member of society who had a career in aeronautics, having worked for McDonnell Douglas and Lockheed Martin in his lifetime. He lived in Texas before settling down in a desert community just outside of Las Vegas. His brother, Eric Paddock, said Stephen enjoyed gambling, which is perhaps why he decided to retire to this portion of the country. However, he claimed he had no idea how his brother could massacre an entire group of people, alleging that he just snapped one day. What he wasn't saying was that the psychopathic apple didn't fall far from the criminal tree. Stephen's father is not unknown to authorities. In fact, he spent 8 years on FBI's top 10 most wanted list for good reason. His laundry list of offenses earned him that spot, and it appears that his son, who now just went down in infamy as a mass murderer, learned a thing or two from his dad, who he has one sickening thing in common with. Fox News reports. The father of the gunman behind the deadliest shooting in modern U.S. history robbed a string of banks in Arizona, escaped prison in Texas, and tried to start a new life as the manager of a bingo parlor in Oregon, according to historical newspaper articles. Eric, the brother of Las Vegas shooter Stephen Paddock, who killed at least 50 people from his hotel room at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino late Sunday, told the Orlando Sentinel that their father was Benjamin Hoskins Paddock. The elder Paddock, born in Wisconsin in 1926, had a host of other fake names and nicknames, including Big Daddy and Old Baldy, and was on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list from 1969 to 1977. Stephen's father lived a life of crime, getting by this way and thinking he was above the law, so much so that even after he was sentenced to 20 years behind bars, he managed to escape from federal prison while serving his sentence. The FBI said Paddock tried to resist arrest and attempted to run down an agent with his car, the Tucson Daily Citizen reported back on July 28, 1960. An escaped federal prisoner poster issued by the FBI at the time said Paddock was diagnosed as psychopathic and reportedly has suicidal tendencies and should be considered armed and dangerous, Fox News reported. About 6 months after the escape, Paddock was involved in an armed robbery at a bank in San Francisco, and in September 1978, he was awaiting trial related to charges from that incident, according to the Oregon newspaper. Other reports noted that Paddock's father was an avid bridge player and loved the game of bingo so much that he ran an illegal bingo gambling parlor in Oregon. It turns out that Stephen doesn't only share his father's love of gambling, but perhaps his psychopathic tendencies as well. Maybe, in this case, the gambling was a compulsory part of the mental illness, in addition to the criminal tendencies and derangement to act on them. To be clear, we are in no way asserting that anyone with a love of gambling has psychopathic tendencies or is capable of committing crimes like this. We are only making the connections of attributes that Stephen had with his father. The patriarch of this family died in 1998 while having survived his final years on a VA pension. Fox News added that, among his other life claims, being an auto crew racing chief, Chicago Bears football player and survivor of a World War II minesweeper sinking, according to the Eugene Register-Guard. Stephen's father lived an entire life of conning people, and in a way, Stephen may have as well, by pretending to not have the thoughts and tendencies that led him to where he was today. It has yet to come out what triggered him to pull the trigger on a crowd of people, killing 58 and injuring 515. But the seed of mental illness may have been there, and when mixed with the wrong rhetoric, can lead to the horror the world witnessed last night in Las Vegas. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.